Hi, everybody. I'm Mike, and this is Mike Miller Talks Life. Today's quote: our choices are more powerful than our circumstances. Circumstances are like a season of life, they are common. We all face circumstances. Sometimes they're good. It's a season of just being blessed with health and happiness, and everybody's getting along, job's going good, all that is good. Sometimes they can be hard, a season of hardship or struggle. This will be primarily the focus. Seasons like this can be because of illness or loneliness, facing financial struggle, relationship problems, times of loss, or just being emotionally down, job loss, maybe your kids are struggling. Kind of the coronavirus is behind a lot of this. Circumstances can be consequences of our choices. And that's never fun. But circumstances can just happen to us, and we had nothing to do with it. This is sort of where the coronavirus has come, and it's interrupted our plans, interrupted our life, put things on hold that we were working toward. And it's very frustrating. Circumstances are very powerful. They control us. They rob us of things we enjoy. They can take us all the way back to having to start over with something. They can be destructive. They can dominate our thinking, our moods, our choices, our relationships, our conversation, our prayers, and even the choices we make. The quote says that our choices are more powerful than our circumstances. Choices can actually weaken the effects of the circumstance that we are in. They can help us rise above the circumstance. They can help us grow through the circumstance instead of just going through it. They can help us blossom in the midst of a tough circumstance. Choices can lessen the impact of the circumstance, and choices can enable us to come through the circumstance stronger, in a better place, ready for what's next. We are all in a tough circumstance with the coronavirus, but there are other circumstances going on in your life that are just as hard. And I want to focus on those kinds of circumstances we're in, the hard, the negative ones. Virginia Satir says, life is not the way it is supposed to be. It is the way it is. And the way you cope is what makes the difference. I have a list of choices. First choice is choose prayer. Prayer is something everybody does, even people who don't believe in God have probably found themselves at times praying. A survey has been done during the coronavirus, and 1/2 of the people interviewed about prayer have said that they have prayed for the coronavirus to end. My first thought was only half? I'm thinking everybody's prayed for this thing to end. Googling prayer and prayer themes has skyrocketed during the coronavirus. We often pray for God to take away the problem, heal us, provide for us, help my child. People pray those kinds of prayers, asking God to intervene in a miraculous way. I have seen him intervene in miraculous ways. But sometimes he doesn't. And there are some other things to pray that line up with what God is doing. He has said that for those people who love him, who serve him, he plans to use everything they go through in life for their ultimate good. And then he says the ultimate good for everybody who is a follower of his is to become like his son and grow spiritually. So then that opens up some more things to pray that are in line with what God's doing. I mean, you could easily pray, God, I yield to your plan for me. Help me cooperate with it. Help me see what you're doing. You could ask God for wisdom to make the best choices during your circumstance. Ask for strength to endure this hard time. Ask him to help you make choices that would honor him and help you grow spiritually. I recommend a daily time for prayer, for reading sections from the Bible, and for reading spiritual books and listening maybe to somebody on YouTube who is a teacher of Christian things, just to help you grow spiritually, to feed your soul. Very important, I think. Number 2, choose gratitude. There is always something to be grateful for. Gratitude is such a powerful life mover. It gives hope and it changes our life focus. I think every day we should have time to give thanks. Thank God for the good in your life. Be grateful for the people in your life. I mean, we all have those key people in our life who have made such a positive difference. And that's a gift, and we should be grateful for it. Be grateful for what you have and how you've been blessed. Choose gratitude. Choose to stay positive. In a tough circumstance, it is so easy to go negative, to whine and rehearse how bad things are. Psychologists tell us it is easier to go negative than to go positive, which is kind of weird in a way because going positive is so much better for us. But we tend to go negative. Our thinking that is negative makes the circumstance seem worse than it is, and it can really do a number on us. A simple 2-word tool can make a big difference. Yes, but. And it just simply works. You're thinking negative, how bad things are, how lonely you are, how you'll never find a job, or whatever. Yes, but. And it interrupts that line of thinking. And then you need to be ready with a positive thing to say. Yes, but this is happening. Yes, but this is working out. Yes, but this is improving. Yes, but. And it helps us stay on positive lines of thinking. There's nothing wrong with looking at the problem and analyzing it. You're not trying to deny that there's a problem, but it isn't helpful just to stay negative. And so yes, but can really help lift you. Kind of a truth that I live by. What we think determines what we do and how we feel. So if you're having a problem with what you're doing, take it back to what are you thinking about that situation? If you have a problem with how you're feeling about something, take it back to the thought level. What are you thinking? That's how you change behavior and feelings. Change what you're thinking. Man, it's a simple tool, but boy, it can really change from negative to positive. So I hope you give that a try. I think number 3 here, choose to focus on what you can control. In every circumstance, there are things you have no control over. And yet those are the things we go after and we worry about it, spend a ton of energy focusing on it, and it just wears us down. It makes us more frustrated. It makes things look more bleak. It's overwhelming. I recommend that you take a sheet of paper, make 2 columns, things I have no control over. Jot those down. Things I can do something about. Jot those down. And whenever you look at that list, look at the things you can't control first and just simply give thanks. Thank you. I have no control over that, so I'm not responsible for it. And then look at the other side and start picking those. Come up with a plan of what you can do about it. And when you finish them, It's just creating a positive feeling. Hey, look what I'm doing. Many people have taken on many projects during the coronavirus, getting rid of things, cleaning out closets, all kinds of things. And it just helps them feel like they're accomplishing something. And in fact, they are. A positive thing to do. Choose to focus on what you can control. Choose to learn what you can. Well, the coronavirus situation has been a great time to learn new things. Learn something new. It makes life interesting, it's stimulating, and it gives you new things to talk about. And that's a positive. I mean, I found YouTube channels with lectures and teaching about almost anything. And it can be fun. So learn something new. Learn something about yourself. Sheltering in place, which for a lot of you may be coming to an end as you're going back to work or whatever. But the shelter in place time period has been a chance to see some things about yourself. And to be quite honest, it probably hasn't been real pretty. Because we see some things that are just like, I can't believe I'm that way. And my advice is when you learn some of this stuff about yourself, what can you do about it? How can you make some changes? How can you adjust? How can you stop doing that? Don't tackle everything. It's too much. But just look at one or two things. I think I'm going to work on not doing that. Simple as that. Learn something new. Next, choose to stay in touch with people. One of the hardest things for everybody has been we feel so cut off at times. It is not good for us to be alone. So I recommend phone friends, FaceTime them, text them. It really helps the day go by. And if somebody calls you or wants to FaceTime you or sends you a text, respond. You're helping them, but you're also helping yourself. So stay in touch with your friends. Check on your friends. Talk to people. I think it's also helpful in this to stay in touch with people is this idea of looking for some people that you might help in some way. It's really good to get the attention off you and on to somebody else. I heard an interview with a singer, Amy Grant. I don't know if you know her. I've been a fan of hers since college. I just like her. I don't know what there is, but... And she had talked about this prayer that she prays every day. The prayer is this: Lord, lead me today to those who I need and who need me. And let something I do have eternal significance. I grabbed that prayer. I'm a retired minister, but I still want to keep my hand in the door of ministry to people. I care about people. So I began praying that. And some people encounters have opened up. Some of them, I don't know where they're going, but it's kind of an adventure because I'm thinking, God's doing this. I really believe that. I do this morning walk. I got some physical problems and I'm up to about 1.5 miles, which is really big for me. You're probably laughing about it. I know some of you who listen are runners, and I don't care. I'm just excited how much progress I'm making. So I've met people in my walk in my neighborhood. Just being friendly. This prayer has helped me to become more outgoing. I'm pretty introverted. And a couple of people, I think this is going to develop into a more significant conversation down the road. I've met people who have really been a blessing to me. And so I like this kind of prayer. It helps me because it just makes things kind of an adventure. And I like that. Last thing, choose to be kind to yourself. When you're going through a hard circumstance, It's hard. What we've gone through with the coronavirus has been hard on everybody. Don't make it worse by being hard on yourself. Give yourself some grace. If you waste time, relax about it. If you space out, veg out, and watch a ton of reruns on something, okay. Try not to do that all the time, but I mean, that happens. Give yourself some grace. Be kind to you. Maybe you're in a circumstance and you caused it. You made some choices and here you are. Okay, everybody's done that. You're not the only one. Just apologize if you need to, but then start working on getting out of it. Dig out of it. Make the best of it. It doesn't help to beat yourself up and to punish yourself. Just be kind to you. Our choices are more powerful than our circumstances. And I've tried to give you some really good choices that will help you rise above the hard circumstances you might be going through. There are many other choices, and maybe this has sparked you to think of those. I mean, I didn't include choose exercise, which I should have, because it's so powerful. My hope is that you'll see that there are some choices you can make that will help you get through whatever the hard circumstance might be. And just plug away at it. Make them yours. Make them work for you. This circumstance you're going through does not have to control you. You can rise above it because our choices are more important, more powerful than our circumstances. Thanks so much for listening. As always, I hope this has been helpful to you. And click like on the YouTube page if that's where you're listening. That would be helpful. And until next time, I hope you have a great, healthy week.